By the turn of the 20th century, the Southern Pacific Railroad's grip on California had become, in the eyes of many citizens, simply incompatible with democratic self-government. The railroad controlled about 85% of the state's freight capacity, set rates that disadvantaged California shippers, and ran a political apparatus that shaped candidate selection, legislation, and even judicial appointments. There's a famous telling story. Railroad boss Charles Crocker reportedly told the Los Angeles City Council that if they didn't meet his terms, he would make the grass grow in their streets. That was the political cultural reformers were up against. California wasn't alone. Across the country, progressive reform movements were rising, fueled by muckraking journalism and a growing, educated urban middle class. Californians paid close attention to Wisconsin, where Governor Robert La Follette had built a national model for regulating corporate power. The question in California by the early 1900s wasn't whether reform was desirable, it was whether reform was even possible against a machine as entrenched as the Southern Pacific's. The catalyst came from San Francisco. Between 1906 and 1909, a graft prosecution exposed systematic corruption linking the city's political boss, Abraham Roof, to the railroad and major corporate interests. One of the prosecutors was a sharp attorney named Hiram Johnson. Roof was convicted and imprisoned, and the trials drew national attention to just how deep the corruption went. For Johnson, the lesson was clear. Chasing individual crooks wasn't enough. What California needed was a structural overhaul of its political institutions, redesigning the system itself so the railroad couldn't capture it. In 1910, the reform faction, organized as the Lincoln-Roosevelt League, nominated Hiram Johnson for governor. His campaign was built around one unforgettable promise: to kick the Southern Pacific out of California politics. He even toured the state's remote districts by automobile, a novelty that signaled he was reaching voters beyond the railroad's networks. Johnson won decisively, and when the legislature convened in 1911, progressive Republicans had the majorities they needed to act. So as we move into the reforms themselves, hold on to this core insight. The progressives believed the problem wasn't just bad people, it was a badly designed system. Their solution would be to redesign the machinery of California democracy from top to bottom, and much of that machinery is still running today.